Hello, welcome back to Mona's Corner. So I recorded this video and another one, and they got deleted. Well, I uploaded them, but for some reason they didn't upload, and now I have to re-record them, and I just recorded them today, so I get to tell these stories all over again. So first, since I found the receipts, ignore my eyes if you can see them. I'm a little tired. I just got off work. It's literally like almost 11 o'clock at night, so I'm a little tired. Just don't mind it. So we're going to talk about people that, well, not people, a person, one specific person, and how he definitely wasn't who I thought he was, I guess. Anyways, so let's get to it. So I had a job, right? Duh. So I was working for Alorca. At the time, it was a stay-at-home job. So, I never got to meet anybody in person, right? It was only through messages and stuff like that. So, the time comes along where we have to go on site. This job wasn't a permanent stay-at-home job, which I knew that going into the job. Like, they literally told us, oh, eventually you're gonna have to come back. You're gonna have to come on site. And I was like, okay, like, that's fine. I don't care. So my freaking cat. 1 second. Alright, sorry about that. Anyways, so I'm like, cool, like, I finally get to meet my team, and I just got a new team. Because I switched managers and we switched teams, like people we had. Freaking cat. And so, I was kind of excited. I was like, oh, I finally get to meet a team. Like, I've been with this company for 3 years. I never got to meet anybody in person. All I hear were voices, and some people didn't even talk. So I'd never even got to hear their voices. And, some people had profile pictures, but majority of them didn't. So I never even got to see, like, what they could look like or anything like that. So I was excited. And I got to dress up, we were able to wear whatever as long as it's appropriate. Anyways, so a time comes where I have to go on site, right? And it was nice. Like, at first, they did it in like waves. So I was part of like the first group of people that went back on site. So there wasn't a lot of people, right? I got to meet like a little bit of my team. And I met this guy. We're calling him Brandon, right? No, that is not his real name. His real name doesn't even start with a B. I'll give you that. So Brandon ended up like friending me, Like, we got along well. He was older. He was in his early 30s, and at the time, well, I'm in my early 20s, so it's like a 10-year difference. So he seemed chill, like, there was nothing about it. It was whatever. He made me laugh, like, he made our team laugh. He would, he was like the clown of the group, right? He always was making people laugh and stuff like that. So, I befriended him. I was like, you're cool, like, I like talking to you during work. He made the days go by fast. It was fun. It was nice. And then we had an outing because one of our coworkers at the time, she was leaving. So she was like, "Oh, we should all hang out outside of work." And like, we were like, "Okay, bet." Like, half the team agreed to go, but it was only that lady, Brandon, and me. It was just us three from work. Now the lady that was leaving, I'm gonna call her A. She had her son. She brought her son, and then Brandon, and then me, my boyfriend, and then I brought my friend. Um, so there was a little group of us, but it was only three of us that worked together. So me, so we were just there. We hung out. We were at this little bar thing, and it was chill, like whatever. Me and my boyfriend had to leave because my boyfriend had to work early the next morning, right? So we left, and I guess A and her son, Brandon, and my friend, they decided to go to a different bar. And I guess that's when my friend and Brandon uh started to get close, right? Well, not close, but I guess like he kind of befriended her and he started liking her. Um and I guess like they were I don't know, the bar that they went to had like some kind of salsa dancing something, and they were dancing together, whatever. I don't know, I wasn't there. I just know the story. And so, I go to work like the next day I work, and he told me, he was like, "Yeah, I really like your friend. Like she's so beautiful and we had such a good time and yada yada." And he's like, "We might even go like we might even do salsa dancing classes together and all this." And I was like, "Dang." I was like, "You hit it off with her." And I was hyping him up because she was single and he was single, and I was like, "Go for it." Like she's a little bit older than me, so it's not that different. I don't know. Anyways, and then like there's a whole thing between them. Uh she didn't really like him at first. She was just like, I'd get to know him, like I wouldn't mind getting to know him. Um and so that's what they did. They got to know each other for a little bit. Um and then that's when one of them had the idea of going out again, right? So it was me, him, my friend, and my boyfriend. So it was almost like a double date kind of thing. And so we ended up going to the casino because we were like, oh, why not? So we went to the casino, we had a few drinks, we had dinner, and it was fine. Like everything seemed fine to me. I mean, she was a little off because he wanted to hold her hand, she didn't. I think he was trying to kiss her, she didn't want him to. So there was a little like, nah, like, we felt it. Like, me and my boyfriend were like, yeah, he's trying to kiss her, he's trying to hold her hand, and she's like definitely not letting him. And so me and my boyfriend were like, wow, like, okay. Um, and so then, we go back to work. Not like nothing seemed wrong, I guess. Um, but I ended up getting furloughed, right? So what furlough is they don't fire you. You're technically still working for the company, and since the company I worked for had different projects, like I was technically able to switch projects because the project I was working for, I guess they didn't need me anymore. As this is what I was told. So I wasn't fired. I was put on furlough. Uh, but I couldn't work. Like I wasn't getting money. I wasn't getting paid. Nothing. So, it was just like any normal day. I went into work, and then I had a meeting with my team, my team manager, and he didn't tell me. Anyways, that's another story for another time. Um, and so, I get pulled out, and then I can't go back. Like I couldn't go back to get my stuff. So, like everybody was like, "Where did she go? Like what happened?" And then that's when I get a call from Brandon, and he was like, "Hey, yo, well, like, what happened? You never came back for your shift and this and that." And then I told him what happened, and yeah. So me and him kind of kept in touch, and then we were, and then like I didn't talk to him for a few days because I was looking for jobs and stuff. And then no. And then I reached out and I was like, "Hey, guess what? Like, I finally got a job." Like, because he wanted to know. So I messaged him. I was like, "Yo, I got the job. Like, this is great." And then he was just like, "Oh, that's good for you." And now I'm going to read the receipts. Now, like, I have them, but I sent them to someone, and like, you can't even see what it says, but I know the gist of it. So it says, do you talk to this girl? She was our coworker, one of our coworkers that me and him both talked to. And I was like, "Yeah, I do. Why?" And then he said, "Cause she asked about the casino, like the date night." And he's like, "And I know I didn't tell her." And I said, like, "Ooh." And then I I was like, "I did. I only told her because I was upset." And then he said, "Upset about what?" And I said, um, well, me and my boyfriend had like a little argument. And then he's like, "So you just go and tell everybody else's business because you're upset?" He's like, "Please don't be telling her my business. It doesn't concern her, and I don't." And I like to keep my my business personal. And I'm like, "I didn't mean to. I just told her who I was out with." And he's like, "Right. Something if I tell people what I'm doing, it's a whole other thing, but telling other people my business." And I was like, "But I was a part of it. It's not like I told her who it's not like I told her that you were interested in my friend. But okay, I'll keep your name out of my mouth when I'm talking to her." And he said, "I understand that, but why?" I'm telling you, y'all, like, this is hard to read. I understand that, but why something? I never told her I was going on a double date. Not that was a problem because I'm not talking to anyone. Like at work, I like to keep my life private. And then I sent him a screenshot of the messages I sent to this girl. I literally said, like, "Oh yeah, I'm at the casino with Brandon, my friend, and my boyfriend, and my boyfriend made me upset." And I literally, like, I just barely mentioned that. And then that's when, like, I was telling her, like, what my boyfriend did as to why I was upset. And then I'm like, um, I don't know why. I cannot make that out at all. Because I sent him the picture, the screenshot, and then I think I said, like, "This is all I literally said to her," something. And then he said she got mad because I was short with her, like it's none of her business. And I'm like, "Again, I'm sorry. It wasn't it wasn't me telling your business. It was just me simply saying what I was doing and who I was with. But yeah, I could have left you out." And then he said, "Besides, I know what type of person you are, and I won't be around and I won't something around myself. And I won't surround myself with that type of person. You really had me fooled, dude." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He said, "I do wish you the best with something, though. I hope your pastries take off, because I was baking and I used to sell at work. And then he said, so, and I said, so we aren't friends anymore because of a single mistake? And then he said, this mistake isn't what I'm talking about. And no, I won't be friends with you anymore because I'm not friends with people that's something behind their back. And I said, dude, what are you talking about? Something, oh, dude, I think I said like, dude, I wouldn't talk about you behind your back. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then he said, I'm not talking about you and the girl I told. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? Then who would you be talking about? And he said, like I said, I don't hang out with people that go behind other people's backs. Have a good one, dude. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about if it's not the situation. He's like, you do know. I And I think he said, and like I said, have a good one, dude. And then I said, I really don't know what you're saying or something. And then he's like, sure, have a good one, dude. I'm like, I didn't lie to you, never have. I don't understand what the situation you're talking about. Yeah, and I'm like, I didn't do anything wrong. Like, I wouldn't do anything like that. And he said, I didn't say you lied to me, but you would talk behind something back. I was something, because I thought you were a friend, but friends can't. But friends don't talk behind their friends' back. They defend each other. That's what friends do. Um, yeah. And then he's like I said, have a good one. I wish you the best, and please leave me alone. And I said, um, I never went behind his back to talk. And I'm like, I would love to know what situation you're talking about so I can clear it up, because I would never do something like that to you. Like, I'm a true friend. And yeah, and then, well, he left me on delivered or whatever. He never responded to me to this day, still hasn't. I'm pretty sure he blocked my number. I've never tried to call him. Like, he also blocked me on TikTok. That's the only social media he had me on. If I really wanted to, I could add him on Snapchat. But yeah, like, I started crying when he was sending me these messages. Because I was like, what? Like, what did I do? Who told him that I told them something? Like, I would never talk behind this guy's back about anything, because there was nothing for me to talk bad about. And then I found out that our coworker, right? Apparently, he did end up telling her about that double date. Like, he mentioned it like the week before, something that he was gonna go on it and that it was gonna be a thing. And because, like, yeah, I told my coworker about this, but he didn't know that, and I didn't think that she would be the one to say something to him, like. So in my head, I was kind of like, dang, this girl actually said something. I was like, wow, like, of course. But then when I started talking to her, and I was like, do you know what he's talking about? Like, what happened? And then that's when, like, no, dude, he actually told me that he was going on this date. That's why I asked about it. And she was like, like, I would never tell him something that you told me, because she's not like that. And so I was like, yeah, that's what I thought. Like, because you were the only person I told that would have told him anything other than like that. Like, that's it. And she's like, yeah, he had mentioned it, so I had just asked about it, and he was all short and rude with me. And I was like, dang. And then apparently, so after that, right, he was still at work, like, he still went back to work, and I guess she had told him, she was like, I hope you know you're the one that told me about your double date, not Monique. And he was like, nah, there's no way I did. And she's like, yeah, you did. You told all of us. Like there, like where how we would sit, there would be like a little group of us, and it was always like the same people ish. And so she was like, yeah, you told us all about this double date that you were going on. And he was like, oh dang. He's like, oh my bad. And I told her, I was like, you should have brought me up because like he went off on me for no reason. And she was like, yeah, I was gonna, but I wasn't sure how you'd feel about that. I was like, you should have make him feel bad about it, made and told everybody. Yeah, it's low key trying to start drama, but that's because like everybody liked him. Like he was a funny guy. There was nothing to not like about him, you know? So, I mean, he was a little bit of a complainer because he didn't like my RTM. Like, that's another story. um, but like, you know, like he was becoming popular in our team, you know, and and it was just like I was like, he's freaking fake, and that was so messed up of him to do. Um, so yeah, that was that. And I remember when we first became friends, he was like, yeah, I'm not all about drama. Like, I hate drama. I stay away from drama and this and that. And I'm like, dude, me too. Like, I don't like it. Like, my life is literally full of drama. And if I can get away from it, I would love to. But he did that to me. And yeah, since I knew where he worked, I knew the times he went in. I really did think about going to my job and confronting him and being like, what the heck? Like, obviously, you wouldn't tell me this to my face. You only did it over text messages. Hold on. Okay, sorry. I had to let my cat in because he was freaking out. So, so yeah, I did think about that. And yes, I had started to become. I have another story about my manager. Hi, manager. Well, not manager anymore. But, excuse you. Oh, dang, what was I saying? I got distracted. Oh, frick. I lost my train of thought. And now my other cat is crying. What was I gonna say? Oh, because I had become friends with my manager, right? And I was really close to asking him, like, what is Brandon's address? Because I was really like, should I pull up to his house and be like, what the heck? Like, I am a friend, like, I'm a true friend. But I didn't. Because obviously, like, he would probably know that I went to my manager to get that information. And I don't know if my manager would actually have given it to me. Because I remember, like, I told my manager this story, right? Because he was still working there when this happened. And my manager was just like, yeah, I have access to that. But he didn't say, like, he would have given it to me. You know, he was just like, yeah, I have access to that. Um, but I didn't do anything. I never called him, even though I thought about it. He also sent my friend, like, a long old paragraph how, like, it wouldn't work out between them and yada, 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 and whatever. And he was like, it was nice getting to know you, blah, blah. Like I said, he sent her a whole paragraph and he let her down easy, but freaking threw me under the bus and was like, oh, you're a terrible person. And I'm like, okay, I'm not, but alright. So yeah, to this day, I have no idea what he's talking about. He probably made it all up, but he could have let me down easier, you know? He could have just been like, hey, I don't want to be friends no more. Or he could have just blocked my number. He could have just blocked me rather than, like, going off on me for something that wasn't even my fault because he told that coworker about it before I did. Anyways, so that was my first, like, I mean, obviously, as a teenager and younger, I had friends that did stuff, but like, this was my first time as an adult having someone go off on me for something I literally did not do. Literally did not do. So it was crazy. Well, let me know down below if you guys have ever had a coworker or a friend or someone do that to you too. Like, completely go off on you for no reason and friend break up with you for no reason and made up a complete lie about it, saying, oh, let me know down below your crazy friend stories and how they friend broke up with you. Because I'd like to hear them, because I like to know that I'm not the only one. So, I hope you guys enjoyed my little story, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye.